Celebrities who dated before they were famous Part 3. Keira Knightley and Dornan. Knightley wasn't the well-known star she is now back in the year 2003 when she was a working actor best recognized for her role in Bend It Like Beckham. She began dating Dornan in that year, who at the time was a Calvin Klein model and had yet to appear in 50 Shades of Grey. They dated for 2 years before breaking up in 2005, the year Dornan received his first acting role. Charlie Sheen and Robin Wright. Charlie Sheen has had a lot of very prominent romances, but his teenage romance with Wright managed to fly under the radar. Between 1981 and 1982, the actors had a romantic relationship. Ashton Kutcher and January Jones. January Jones dated Ashton Kutcher, an up-and-coming actor, from 1998 to 2001 before Mad Men made her famous. But Jones said he wasn't the perfect example of a good boyfriend. Jones stated to GQ in 2009, "He was not supportive of my acting. I don't think you're going to be excellent at this," he said. "So screw you." Tobey Maguire and Rashida Jones. Tobey Maguire dated Rashida Jones for 3 years before playing Peter Parker in the early 2000s Spider-Man trilogy. Jones continued to talk to The Guardian about her evolving viewpoint on relationships after they broke up. "I'm happy, but it's taken me a long time to get to a place where I truly am good with that, where I genuinely don't feel like I'm some sort of loser," she said of her lack of a spouse and children. Later, the actress fell in love and gave birth to one kid with Vampire Weekend frontman Eza Koenig. Juliette Lewis and Brad Pitt. Yes, there was a time when Brad Pitt wasn't a member of the elite of Hollywood. Prior to Thelma and Louise, in 1989, when Pitt was 26 years old, he started dating Juliette Lewis, who was then 17 years old and his co-star in the film Too Young to Die. Despite their disparity in ages, the couple dated for 4 years until calling it quits in 1993. I find it amazing that people are still intrigued by the fact that we dated for 4 years. At the time, I was a teenager. It's a very long time off. It had a lovely, loving relationship with a smart, amusing guy while I was in high school. After that, everything was finished, and he went on to achieve enormous fame in 2010. Lewis spoke with the Daily Mail. Lisa Kudrow and Conan O'Brien. We are grateful to Conan O'Brien because without him, Lisa Kudrow might not have appeared on our televisions. Lisa Kudrow was attracted to him right away when they first met in an improv comedy class. Before determining they would get along better as friends, the pair briefly dated. O'Brien pushed Kudrow to pursue her goals despite the embarrassment and shyness she felt after her first improv lesson. And look at where they are now, together. Carey Mulligan and Marcus Mumford. The lead singer of Mumford & Sons and Carey Mulligan reconnected as adults at a party in Nashville in 2011 after having been childhood pen pals. After being married in 2012, they had a son in 2017 and a daughter in 2015. Jessica Simpson and Jensen Ackles. Jessica Simpson dated the star of the CW horror fantasy series Supernatural before their relationship became one of her most well-known ones, which was showcased on her reality series Newlyweds, Nick and Jessica. Who could forget that memorable chicken of the sea moment? In a Newlyweds episode, Simpson spoke to her then-husband Nick Lachey about the pain her first love had given her, leading some fans to believe that she was referring to Ackles. Jon Hamm and Jennifer Westfeldt. They began dating in 1997, more than 4 years before Westfeldt co-wrote Kissing Jessica Stein and starred in it, and more than 10 years before Mad Men debuted on television and catapulted Hamm to fame. After 18 years of marriage, the couple separated in 2015. Alanis Morissette and Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds began dating Alanis Morissette just as he was beginning to find success in Hollywood as Van Wilder in the 2002 comedy National Lampoon's Van Wilder. In 2004, the Canadian pair became engaged, but in 2008 they made the decision to part ways. Morissette subsequently acknowledged that her 7th studio album, Flavors of Entanglement, was influenced by her split because it was such a difficult breakup for her. The singer stated, "Yeah, it's actually about my pain." Of the album, I think the most painful, sort of suffering-oriented moments in my life are when I'm resisting something, if I just say, it's true. I'm unbelievably insecure, really broken, devastated, then I can move through it, toward the next place. But if I keep resisting it, I'll stay there forever. Robin Thicke and Paula Patton. When they started dating in the early 1990s, these two were the epitome of puppy love, She was 15 and he was 14. When both of their careers took off, they stayed together, notably in 2013 after the release of Blurred Lines. Sadly, they separated in 2014 after 21 years of marriage. Ryan Gosling and Sandra Bullock. Prior to being chosen for the 2002 psychological thriller Murder by Numbers, Ryan Gosling had only appeared in a few movies. But after appearing in movies like Speed, While You Were Sleeping, and Miss Congeniality, Sandra Bullock became well known. Nevertheless, the co-stars grew close while filming and announced their love at the movie premiere. Gosling was always complimentary of his ex-girlfriend, even after they broke up. He referred to Bullock and his other ex, Rachel McAdams, as two of the best girlfriends of all time. I haven't come across anyone who could surpass them. Gosling eventually dated Eva Mendes, and the two of them have 2 daughters together, so maybe he did. Miley Cyrus and Tyler Posey. Tyler Posey co-starred in the TV series Doc with Billy Cyrus when he was just 9 years old. The Teen Wolf star met the country icon's daughter while filming the medical drama in Toronto, and it was instant love. We were so inexperienced. In a 2015 interview with E.T., he revealed, "I would get aroused when we would hold hands." At the age of 7, she was herself. She recognized herself. At my age, I'd never encountered somebody like that. Scarlett Johansson and Jack Antonoff. These two dated for 2 years while attending the professional children's school in New York City. He is now a successful music producer, and she is a well-known actress. Even their prom dates were one another. But things didn't go as planned. A high school friend told Page Six, Jack was very obsessed with her when we were in high school, and she destroyed his heart. They broke up shortly after graduation. She got swept up in the Hollywood scene. Jay Leno and Sharon Osbourne. Sharon Osbourne briefly dated late-night comic Jay Leno before becoming the first lady of rock and roll. After randomly running into each other one night in a bar, they began a flingy-wingy, as Osbourne so cheekily referred to it. He visited my place, introduced himself to me, and then we had a brief liaison. The liaison was insufficient for him, and it was more of a liaison for me. The host of the talk show informed viewers of the talk. Because after a few months of dating, he introduced me to his true love. She was beautiful, and the two of them took me to Fatburger and toured me around town. Adrian Brody and Elsa Pataky. Until she portrayed patrol officer Elena Neves in the 2011 action film Fast Five, Elsa Pataky, who was well known for her acting in Spain, was largely unknown to viewers everywhere. However, Pataky and Oscar winner Brody began dating in 2006. The actor purchased his lady love a massive mansion in upstate New York because he was so smitten with her. Brody raved to hello about his then-girlfriend, saying, "The first time I saw her, I was utterly enthralled." Canada. However, I remember everything. I told Elsa later that I was very uncomfortable because she was so gorgeous, so nice, and so sweet. I became quite self-conscious. Neil Patrick Harris and Christine Taylor. Hey, everyone needs some time to think things over. Christine Taylor, who had recently starred in a very Brady movie, and Neil Patrick Harris, best known for his work on Doogie Howser, MD, briefly dated in 1997. She is the sweetest, coolest girl ever. She's a real catch, no doubt, and I reason that if I don't feel the amazing sparks with her, I must be gay. Howard Stern was informed by Harris. Oprah Winfrey and Stedman Graham. Oprah Winfrey began her career as a part-time reporter and then anchor on the local news in Chicago before blossoming into the media juggernaut that we know and love today. The Oprah Winfrey Show debuted on television in 1986, the same year that Winfrey began dating Stedman Graham. Despite being engaged since 1992, the power couple never went through with the wedding, and Winfrey thinks that's been the key to their success. She provided justification in a 2017 Vogue interview. "The only time I brought marriage up was when I said to Stedman, 'What would have happened if we had actually gotten married?' And the answer is, we wouldn't be together. We would not have stayed together, because marriage requires a different way of being in this world." Katy Perry and Matthew Thiessen. Because of her background in Christian music, Katy Perry dated Matthew Thiessen, the lead singer of Reliant K, for 3 years. At Reliant K concerts during their relationship, Perry, who was then known by her real last name, Hudson, could frequently be seen grooving out and even stage diving. Despite the fact that the two parted ways in 2005, there is no animosity between them, claims Thiessen. "Although we're not very close," he stated of his ex, "she's a nice person." So yeah, While I was working on this Owl City stuff, she was hitting the cover of Cosmo. And then, all of a sudden, it's a couple months later and he's charting in radio success and all this stuff. And I'm like, that's really cool. Two of my friends have just become really popular in a short amount of time. Sterling K. Brown and Ryan Michelle Bave. When Sterling K. Brown portrayed the best husband/dad ever in the NBC family drama This Is Us, the world fell in love with him. However, he and his wife were married long before any of them became famous. The lovely pair met in 1998, while both were students at Stanford University. Brown and Ryan Michelle Bave were destined to meet since they were both studying acting and performed in college performances together, but their connection went much deeper than that. We found out that we were both from St. Louis. We didn't know that we were both from St. Louis, like our parents went to rival high schools, Brown explained to ET. We were born in the same hospital, like we were friends.